Alright guys, what's up? I got a different kind of video, somewhat of a funny one. This is a toxic dueling book rated GOAT format actually, match that I had 5 days ago. Thought you guys might get a kick out of it. This is me against Sunday, March 2nd. 5 to me, you know, what happened on Sunday, March 2nd, 2025? LOL. And it's just, hey, I'm joking, man. Friendly banter. No response. So I immediately realized this shit's, he's game to duel. Playing the Pac-Man deck. Sets curse seal. Double curse seal. Okay. Right? Yeah, wow, double curse seal. So I start with Giant Trunade. He curse seal that. Graceful Charity. Discard the Giant Trunade and the Chaos Source. Sork Upstart. Into a Pot of Greed. Hell yeah. Pot of Greed. Draw Dimension, Fusion, Scapegoat. Obviously, I'm playing Reason and Gate. If you haven't been able to tell. Love the deck. Almost summon Sacred Crane to sack for Monster Gate. And we get Toon Cannon Soldier. Summon BLS, banish the Sacred Crane and the Chaos Orc, Dimension Fusion, Sacred Crane back, BLS banish, card dust the hands. He draws into Sakaretsu and Messenger of Peace. I have Scapegoat and Dimension Fusion. Alright, so draw into Sacred Crane and Blowback Dragon. Okay. BP hit him for 3k. And pass turn. Sets sack Messenger of Peace and still has that curse seal with a knock to discard for it. Put everything to the defense. In case it's a mirror force, attack with he sacks the Toucan Soldier. You gotta do what you gotta do. Loses 100 Messenger Piece and activates Swords. Pot of Greed's looking awfully juicy in that graveyard. But I set a Sacred Crane. Knocks a Sacred Crane. Yeah, he's not putting anything for swords, so I just type 1 turn in the chat. There you go. Oof. Doesn't have a spell for Curse Shield, but has a Solemn Jump. That's what I was doing. Just waiting. Heavy Storm. Obviously Solemn's that. Normal summon D-Lock. Grab back, set Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm. Hit him for 28. Put him down to 100. Decide to do the Dimensional Fissure. Fusion, sorry. He gets his Swarm of Locusts, and I'll get my Sacred Crane. Attacking into a face down, it plays into a couple things. I just thought the safer play, I could tribute summon for Jinzo safely. Because I also do kind of want to banish this in case it's a Recruiter of Swords. He didn't summon, the Swarmer Blocus, so I just summoned it for him. Doing the Monster Gate, sacked Virginzo. Yeah, I don't know if he. No, he didn't banish the Swarm Scarab, so I did for him. And kind of the tribute summon Jinzo. All the while, this ring wouldn't have mattered too much. It was a decent play. And hit him for game. I go 1-0. Not too toxic yet, but the toxicity comes. And the borderline cheating comes. But I won't say anymore. Tune table of contents, I had Toon Cannon Soldier. Giant Trunade. He doesn't have a spell to discard. Reasoning. He calls 4. Accidentally banish. And he calls it right on the Sacred Crane. And I just pass. Summons Spell Canceller. Sets Gravity Bind and Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell with the spell in hand. Set the Toon Cannon Soldier. Exiled Forest. Whoa. I'm just stupid. I thought he was using the effect. Oh my gosh. So he, wow. And of course, he's not going to say anything. Wow. Exiled, in case anybody doesn't realize, Exiled Force would not have beaten over Toon Cannon Soldier there. 1,000 versus 1,300 defense. So he would have took 300 and he would have, wow. Summon Sork. Banish Spell Canceller. Curse Seal, negate my Snatch. Tribute Summon for Jinzo. Wow. I'm debating using this Dimension Fusion. Get the Chaos Sword back. Dimension Fusion, Toon Cannon Soldier, and Sacred Crane. Once again, he doesn't summon a spell cancer, so I do a form. Sacred Crane Jaw. Toon Cannon Soldier tribute to burn for 1,000. Banish. Oof. So I just don't want the resummon. Wow. I don't think I was aware of level limit area B's interaction with spell canceller because I'm pretty sure this is just negated because it says the effects of all spell cards are also negated. Could be wrong, but definitely didn't need to play like that. Don't banish. Don't bring back the Dimension Fusion because I'm sorry. Don't use the Dimension Fusion to summon to cancel Sacred Crane because I don't want the spell canceller back. Set Golem Sentry. He's doing all this in draw phase. Flip sets. Just like NDP question mark. Can't flip in DP. And I believe if we were to go back, I wasn't paying attention, but he was doing all this in draw phase. And wow, I'm usually pretty lax. You'll see why. It's important to declare phases because if you don't, you're just opening yourself up to having somebody cheat. Why aren't you declaring phases or playing properly? Move through phases. Play cards when you're allowed to. There you go. Does the same thing and draw face again. Graceful Charity. Yeah. Slow beats with calm century. I accidentally gained life points there. He didn't say anything, but I corrected it. Yeah, I just really have no play. Can't dimension fusion. Alright, game 3, the fun one. So I open really good. Extender, crackback. Like, defensive against his cards. Extender. Pot of greed. And then so honestly, best case scenario for me, I've learned it's either that, like, have a scapegoat, draw a greed with some giant Tyranids or heavy storms. Obviously, ways to get into the reasoning gate combo, whether it's monster gate reasoning or um, a Jinzo, depending on kind of what deck you're playing. And so I'm aiming to get that Jinzo, obviously. Upstart, and now we reasoning. Sacred Grain calls it right again. So I pre-mat for the Sacred Grain. Draw into a Monster Gate, Jinzo. And I knew Monster Gating there, I have a high chance of hitting Jinzo, especially being able to Monster Gate whatever I summon to try to get that other Jinzo. In this deck, you're, maybe playing 2 Sacred Cranes, a Blowback Dragon, and the Toon Cannon Soldier. So yeah, got my Jinzo online and I pass. He gracefuls. Discarding his traps. Yep, smart play. Pot of greeds. And you'll watch what he does here. So he has level limit area B, Divine Wrath, Compulse, Solemn Judgment, and Book of Moon. Now, obviously, I don't know his set cards, but he knows his set cards, and it's intelligent play if he wants to book his cards. I'm sorry, book my Jinzo, and then it opens on his trap cards, and he could, in theory, compulse it back to my hand, and I might not be able to tribute summon it, which is a perfectly legal play. Like, draw phase, or even on his turn, book a moon, and then in the draw phase or standby phase, compulse this Jinzo back to hand. Or if he wants to play more passive, he could book a moon, draw phase, and then save the compulse to see if I'm even able to get out another monster or whatever. Or standby phase immediately to play around like Heavy Storm or Giant Tunic, because he does have a Solemn Judgment set. That's all his thinking. Now we'll see how this translates into me having 2 giants, and obviously the best way to play around this Giant Trinade in hand is to book Compulse then you can summon the giant Trinade, because with all this, the Jinzo can't, you can't activate any traps without the Jinzo. But he doesn't know I have giant Trinade or Heavy Storm. So, enter draw phase, do defensive fusion. 1 second later, enter standby phase. 1 second after that, enter main phase. Now, granted, I didn't ask for phases, my bad, but we're also talking about the same guy who's flip summoning monsters in draw phase. So he doesn't give a rat's ass about declaring phases or, you know, really any type of making it so that we have intelligent conversations like about what phases we're in and are activating. Draw phase, standby phase, activate giant Trinade. So I did do that within 3 seconds. Obviously, I should play slower and declare my phases. Like I said, we are talking about the same guy who's flipped so many monsters in draw phase. So he's just thinking. Which right now he could book the Jinzo. But now he comes up with 7 seconds later, comes up with the plan that I have of book the Jinzo, compulse the Jinzo, solemn judgment the giant Trinade, and his level limit area B will stay. 7 seconds later, declares standby phase. Now, if you're thinking in standby phase, wouldn't you just say thinking in standby phase? Or when I hit the standby phase, hit the cursor? Yeah, I know I did it quickly, but why would it take you 7 seconds to type standby phase unless you had came to that realization of the greatest play around my giant Trinade? But unfortunately, knowing that I had moved phases too quickly, I let him play in standby phase. Yeah, Book of Moon, Compulse. I mean, I already know what he's doing. Giant Trinade. This is the best part. Now, little does he know, I have a second giant Trinade. Get that shit out of there, bitch. I told him I should have sharked you on that standby phase. Because while I do agree, I move phases quickly. 7 seconds to type in standby phase after you hit the thinking emoji. I don't know. Especially when you're not declaring your phases. Monster reincarnation, pitch, Demok, add Chaos Orc, and obviously while I'm doing that is to banish Crane, banish Demok, Dimension Fusion, and back out. It's GG already. It's GG this turn. Chaos Orc, banish Demok and Sacred Crane. I mean, look at all the stuff I have to grab back. Charity, Greed, Snatch Steal, Monster Gate, Premat, Reasoning, come on. Dimension Fusion, Demok, Sacred Crane, Draw VLS, icing on the cake. Pot of Greed, that shit back. Now I have destruction for even further insulation if I can't push for game, but keep in mind he's Solemn Judgment, he's only a 4,500. Tribute Summon Jinzo. Banish Sacred Crane and Chaos Orc. Summon BLS. Now, this is another interesting thing. Is like cool about Blackluster Soldier is this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can attack by it. It can make a second attack around. So you don't have to. So I led with it. Let's see if it's a recruiter. If it's a recruiter, I'll attack with Demog and banish it and play around it, which it is each time around. But yeah. And I think because I activated it back, so ooh, I'll just do another giant rat. Banish it for him. He already brings out another one from deck. And he didn't take the damage either. And now he hits me with, "You're such a whiny pussy. LOL. When you're losing, complain about draw phase of it as if it makes a difference. LOL." Now, we see how that one made a difference, no? In literally the standby phase of this turn, declaring phases, you call me a whiny pussy for telling you to declare yours. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Thought that was a pretty toxic replay. You do get a lot of toxicity on Dueling Book, but yeah. See you guys in the next one. Peace.